So Megan Rapinoe, or Rapinoe, however you say her name, the soccer player, went to the White House.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't know, did she make a cute little speech? I'm sure we get to...
I'm a member of the LGBTQ community.
Women's pay.
With pink hair. And where I come from, I could have only dreamed that I would be standing in the position I am today at the White House. I'm also a professional athlete. And I've helped, along with all of my teammates virtually here today, one teammate literally here today, win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States.
Thank you. That's great.
And despite those wins, I've been devalued. I've been disrespected and dismissed because I am a woman.
No, you have not.
I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I am a woman.
No, nobody said that.
You see, despite all the wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
And just bring in a lot more money. A lot more money.
And for each win, for each tie, and for each time that we play,
A tie.
it's less.
A tie.
And I know there are millions of people who are marginalized by gender in the world and experience the same thing in their jobs. And I know that there are people who experience even more, where the layers of discrimination continue to stack against them.
No, that's good.
Okay, according to U.S. Soccer, in the last decade, the women have made more money than the men's team. They have been paid overall more than the men have made.
And what was your source?
Despite the fact, U.S. Soccer.
Oh.
Despite the fact that they bring in millions, hundreds of millions of dollars less than the men bring in. Now, you can talk about all the championships you won, and I think that's great. That's awesome. I'm glad you've done that. Proud of you for doing it. But the fact is, it doesn't translate into dollars. And that's what it's about. That's what your pay is based on, how much you bring in to USA Soccer. The men bring in far more. Why? Because they have more attendance, much bigger receipts at the gate. They have much bigger television contracts. They have they get much more money from the sponsors, and they make less, according again to USA Soccer.
Wow.
I don't know what to tell Megan Rapinoe. If you want equality, then I guess what you're saying is you should be paid less,
right?
And the men should be paid more.
Yeah.
To bring them up to an equal par with you guys. We just did this a few months ago. They came out with the totals on what has been paid out over the last several years. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it turned out to be several million more dollars overall went to the women than the men.
And I don't understand what they're complaining about.
I don't either. They keep yakking about this not being paid.
You want to fly below the radar and just keep it quiet. Look,
I just can't believe they continue to perpetuate the myth and the lie. And nobody ever raises their hand and says, hey, even if that's true, Megan, what about the money disparity? What about the revenue disparity between the men and the women? You're saying that you bring in less, but you should make more? Is that really what we're supposed to understand here? Because your success on the field is not translating into dollar figures.
Or she wants to be recognized for the ties. You know, she said we got the wins and we got more ties. I mean, what? First of all, your sport sucks if you're bragging about ties.
Yes.
Should be no ties.
Well, your sport sucks.
Period.
I think you just leave it at that.
Yeah, right.
Your sport
By the way,
sucks.
A sidebar, if I may. Yesterday, Dr. Rachel Levine was approved. So,
thank goodness.
So history was made.
So the most beautiful deputy secretary.
Right.
Of all time.
Mm-hmm. One small step for man, I'd like to point out. Transgender, first transgender approved.
First transgender.
Federal position.
That's great.
Administrator. So that's good.
Okay.
What kind of pay rate do you think the good doctor is gonna garner?
Not enough, because she's trans.
Boy.
And so it's going to be...
Didn't think that one through, did you, Rach? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Could have stayed as a dude and made more money that way. from what I hear.
Yeah, because men get paid more.
That's right. Right. So they did in Obama's administration. I'm sure that's the same in the Biden administration as well.
I'm sure it is. In the Trump administration, the women actually made more money than the men.
Funny how that works.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, this Rapinoe thing, I'm so tired of her yakking about pay scale when, first of all, she's not telling the truth here.
Right.
And secondly, why don't you give all the facts? Why don't you show receipts on what the women bring in and what the men bring in, and then let's talk about it. Okay? Let's do that.